See, what we call God depends upon our tribe, Clark Joe. Because God is tribal. God takes sides. Because God is tribal. God takes sides. Because God is tribal. God takes sides.
Okay. Psalms 124, 1 through 3. If it had not been the Most High who was on our side, because remember the movie said, Batman versus Superman, that God is tribal. He has a side, right?
Because God is tribal. God takes sides.
Now may Israel say, if it had not been the Most High who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. So the Most High has a side. And as you can see, the Most High is on the side of the oppressed, not the oppressors. Because they serve a different God. Okay? The Most High side is his people.
Homeboy, God's on your side, right?
You got to remember that. His people.
What are you standing around for? Take them out, goddammit! Take them!
Okay? So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 4, verse 44. Verse 44. All right. Deuteronomy 4 and 44. And this is the law which Moses set for the children of Israel. See, this law wasn't for the world, but the law was given to Israel at first. Okay? So that's why he said God is tribal, because it's the God of Israel. This is a Hebrew book.
We call God depends upon our tribe, Clark Joe. Because God is tribal. God takes sides.
Okay? Now we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Focus. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy God,
if we listen, can hear God's plan.
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, and the Most High God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. See that? So there was a group of people who's supposed to be set high above all nations. Because remember, the Most High said this is a chosen people. Now, a lot of people think that today that the Jews, so-called Jews that are in Israel are the biblical people of the Bible. Do your own research. I'm not going to say anything because they might say that I'm anti-Semitism, but I am Shemitic myself. So this is the way the politics and the government of this world is. So you can do your own research on that. Revelations 2 and 9 and Revelations 3 and 9. And you'll see how the world is right now. Okay. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. All right, 7 and 6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Most High thy God. The Most High, that God has chosen thee to be a special people.
You know, I am the chosen one.
Unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Most High chose a special people.
The lost tribes of Israel were black. The lost tribes of Israel were black.
Let's remember that, a special people.
You know, I am the chosen one.
Okay, to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Most High chose a people.
God's on your side, right? Why don't we do this reasonable?
The people out of Egypt, which they call the Hebrews. Okay, so now we're going to go to John 15 and 1. John 15 and 1. John chapter 15. John 15 and 19. John 15, verse 19. If ye were of the world would love its own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So look at today's climate. You see all these black men and these children being killed through centuries, decades. Does the world love the so-called blacks?
I don't want to refuse anything.
It's yes or no. It's completely up to you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, just wait here while I grab it.
Oh, man.
So, just trying to make sure, man, you're safe to drive. That's all.
I know, man. I just...
You scared me a little bit because you were sleeping in there. So that's why I was making sure you're okay. And then that's.
I know. You just doing your job.
All right, just take a deep breath in. Put your mouth over the mouthpiece. Go as hard as you can until I tell you to stop. Blah 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 blah. Stop. Very good.
I just had a few drinks. That's it.
How many?
1.5. Like I said, I was into the second cup. I wasn't even... I told her, babe, let's go. Because I'm hungry.
What kind of drinks did you have?
I'm not sure. It's something she ordered. She said top shelf or whatever.
Top shelf what?
I'm not sure. It was, like I said, it was her birthday, and it was my daughter's birthday intent to, have a good time. And I said, babe, I'm hungry. Let's go. My baby's mom, she was there. I said, babe, go ahead. I'm cool. Here's the money for the blow-up bed tomorrow. Here's the money for, to enjoy herself tomorrow. Just, you want to give me a burger or something. Just take me home. I'm ready to go.
So you had about 1.5 drinks, but you don't remember what kind of drinks they were?
No, sir.
All right.
I really don't, Mr.
All right. I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands behind your back for me. Put your hands behind your back. Hey, stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
Mr. Ross!
Stop!
Come on, man.
Stop! You're gonna get tased!
Mr. Ross!
Hands off this fucking taser! Hands off the taser! Hands off the taser! Stop fighting! Fucking taser! I'm 63.
You know, that's what the name we're calling ourselves these days. Do they love us? No. Okay. We're hated among all nations. Okay. And this verse fits the so-called African American. This is talking about us. If ye were of the world would love its own. The world don't love the black person. They really don't. Now that this false illusion that they love, you know, the African American people with Black Lives Matter, but you know, you look behind that, you look behind a curtain or the veil, and you see who the wizard is pulling all the strings. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. If the world loved the African Americans, so-called African Americans, then why haven't things changed? Why isn't there any black businesses? Why haven't blacks came up in the rap industry? Because they're all Jewish owned corporations and everything. Okay. So now we're gonna go to Deuteronomy. Excuse me, we're going to go to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha. Okay, 2nd Esdras. Chapter 5, verse 27. All right. Chapter 5, verse 27. And among all the multitudes of the people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou giveth a law that is approved of all. You see that? The Most High has one people, one people. Now I know history, you know, people say forget slavery and all this other stuff, but people have to remember the so-called African Americans were kidnapped, taken to a land that was not their own.
They came to our shores, took us away. Once kings and queens, relegated to slaves.
And forced into slavery. You kidnapped the people. Now the Most High God is saying that he has one people. And his people are dispersed. Okay, now we're going to go to Deuteronomy 7:7. Deuteronomy 7:7. 7:7. Okay. The Most High did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Okay, so we wasn't the biggest, you know, we didn't have the multitudes, but the Most High loved his people. Okay, he chose us. Okay, you know, because we were the fewest, you know, of all people. All right, verse 8. But because the Most High loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Most High brought you out a mighty hand and redeemed you out the house of bondmen. You know, back then it was called Mitzrayim, not Egypt, from the hand of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay, so the Most High had a people in Egypt, which is in Africa, which I think the Israelites or Hebrews were in bond, you know, were in servitude, slavery, whatever you want to call it, for 430 years. Okay? So there was a Shemitic people in this land. Now with DNA testing and everything, you can trace your history, your lineage. But there was one group of people that was in Egypt. Okay? And they was redeemed from the Most High. All right?
The lost tribes of Israel were black.
Now we're going to go to Leviticus 20 and 24. Leviticus 20 and 24. And 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Most High your God, which have separated you from other people. Okay. Now the verse says, ye shall inherit their land. So the land of Israel, which was the land of Canaan back in the day, back in ancient days. And one studies in the Zondervan, it says that the dark races were the Hamitic tribes, the Canaanites, Ethiopians. So when you hear racist people talk about there were no black people in the land of Israel, that is a lie. Because the scholars know that those lands were all filled with so-called dark races of people, people of color, different tribes, the phenotypes. Okay. And then it says, I am the Most High your God, which has separated you from other people. See, the Most High created division between the nations of people. Everyone went together like they are now in America, which is a melting pot. Okay. I'm sorry, if you kidnap someone, lie to them about their education, and tell them that we're all equal on all equal playing ground, but yet you're on the neck, you're over here murdering, lynching people, then that is not all one people. Okay, how you gonna talk about unity? The Most High talks about he separated his people, his chosen people. Okay, so now we're gonna go to verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Most High, am holy, and have served you from other people, that ye should be mine. So we are his people. We are his servants. Okay. So we're not like other people. Everyone is different. Okay. Different tribes, different nations. But, you know, the Hebrew book is saying we are holy unto the Most High from other people. Okay. We are his lot, which says in the scriptures, Israel is the Most High's portion, which means Israel is the people dispersed around the different nations. That's the God that we serve. Okay. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9. Deuteronomy chapter 32, 8 through 9. All right. 8 through 9. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, he separated the sons of Adam. Like I said earlier, the world was divided from the Most High. Everyone went together, living in this, I guess you can call it Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, in this land, Rome, Egypt, whatever you want to call it. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. See, the Most High created division. He divided, because look at the land we're in today. African Americans, or so-called African Americans, believe, you know, that we've been robbed of our heritage, which we have, and things are not right in this land. We can't keep going to Pharaoh, which is the government and the governors who set all these rules and don't really care about the so-called black people. Okay? So, go to verse 9. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. See that? The Most High's portion is his people.
God's on your side, right?
So when Moses was on that mountain, on Mount Sinai, those were the Israelites, the Hebrews. Okay? Jacob is a lot of his inheritance, the descendants. Okay, now we're going to go to the Apocrypha. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 17, verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. So the Most High's portion is his people. And he created a vision of the nations of the whole earth. He set a ruler over every people. But we are the Most High's portion. Okay? Because we the ones that were scattered all over this earth into the four corners. Okay? Now we're going to go to Isaiah 40 and 15. Isaiah 40 and 15. Isaiah 40. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15 and 17. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. You see that? The Most High is talking about the different nations. All the other nations are, they worship all these different deities and pagan idols, which the scriptures talks about, what Moses talks about, how we shouldn't worship wood and stone, different idols in our homes and pictures, So the Most High thinks the other nations are a drop of a bucket and counted as a small dust of a balance. He thinks less of the other nations. This is not me saying it. This is the scripture saying this, okay? Verse 17, all nations before him are a nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Okay, you see that? The Most High is saying that all nations before him are nothing. Because look at how these other nations are. They don't know the Most High. They worship other idols. It's our job to teach the other nations the true God, of the Bible, the Most High God of Israel. But, the Most High thinks all the other nations are nothing because they don't know him, because all this stuff is vanity, the gold statues, even the basketball over here, and they put all these statues of Hebrew men like Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, all vanity. For what? For dribbling the basketball? Come on, man. They don't make no sense. But, we have been assimilated through the other nations, so we do what they do. They copy. Actually, we copy off of them, and then they copy off of us, So we're going to go to the second Esdras 6 and 56 through 57. Second Esdras. All right. Chapter 6. All right. Second Esdras, chapter 6. And then we're going to start at 56. Okay. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle or spit, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. See, I'm not saying this. This is the Most High saying this. This is why the churches took this book out. Because it exposes the other nations and how they treat us everywhere we go, Let's read that again. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spit, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that has falleth from a vessel. Okay. 57. And now the Most High, behold, these heathen.
I don't like motherfucking black people. I fucking hate black people, bro. You know why? Just now, a fucking nigger ran the fucking stoplight and looked at me like it was my motherfucking fault. Fuck all you Black Lives Matter fucking people. I don't give a fuck. Because y'all niggas want to make it seem like it's our fault or the white man or whatever the fuck it is. Bro, like, I don't give a fuck. Kill them all, bro. Kill them the fuck all.
These heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Okay, this verse is very true. We were sold to a heathenist nation of people. They are nothing. And now they are lords over us, which means they are masters over us. And they kill us like it's nothing, like the Most High doesn't see their face. Isn't this America? These people are masters over us. Their jobs, you know, they have everything. The wealth, the economic, the resources, and the blacks have nothing, you know. And you had the Black Wall Street, but they just, you know, destroyed that with the Ku Klux Klan and saying that a white girl got raped, you know, same typical story. And then they lynch and hang and kill us. So, you know, this verse is talking about us, the so-called African Americans, the so-called blacks, you know, the real people of the Bible.
When they talk about Jews, people, you gotta realize the first Jews were black. The first Jews were black. The first Jews were black. Jews. Yes. Not Israelites. Jews. Yeah, Jews. Yeah. The Jews. Jews were black. Right.
The lost tribes of Israel were black.
Okay. So now we're going to go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 28. Chapter 5, verse 28. And now the Most High, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? Because we were dispersed among the nations. You know, that's why he's saying that. And upon the one root hast thou prepared others. And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? So you wonder why there's Negroes in Europe, there's Negroes in Africa, there's Negroes in America, South America, the Afro-Latinos, because the Most High dispersed us, okay? He scattered us everywhere. And I mean everywhere. China, okay? So now we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Okay. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You see that? Curses. So in religious systems, they said that blacks were the curse of Ham. But we know from DNA research, different scholars that give you half-truths, that we know that we are not the curse of Ham. You know, we are cursed in a sense, you know, because of our conditions. But, you know, this verse is talking about the, you know, so-called African Americans. So a curse, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, because we did not listen to the voice of the Most High, and we didn't obey all his commandments and statutes. Okay. So now we're going to go to Psalms 81 and 13 through 14. All right. Psalms 81, okay, 13 and 14. Oh, that my people have hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. See, if we had walked in the Most High's way and we hearkened unto him, you know, that's why he's saying it in this verse. Israel had walked in my ways, I should soon have subdued their enemies. See that? See what's going on in today right now? If we hearken unto the Most High God and cry out to him, he shall subdue our enemies and turn my hand against their adversaries, these people who plot against us with their rules, their regulations, their legislations, their food. You know, you do your own research, but they're putting in all these foods. These people hate us. It's so evident, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know who your enemies are.
I don't give a fuck. Kill them all, bro. Kill them the fuck all.
You gotta know who the players are. You know, you gotta know who the characters are in this world. Because everyone that smiles in your face ain't your friend.
Do you know that the black man in America is Israel? That he's Jews? Do you know that?
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's like Malcolm X said, you know, the fox, his, you know, it smiles. The fox is cunning. It's, you know, it's trickery. You know, he can smile, but he can also frown. You know, the wolf just growls at you because you already know what the wolf is going to do. But the fox is like the liberal. And they smile in your face, but they have other intentions. Okay. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. 28 and 48. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. All right. Deuteronomy 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. See, this is what we're going through right now. We want justice. We want unity. We want peace. But we're going to our enemies for all these things. Well, we should be going to the Most High for all these things. See, this is a spiritual war, man. This, you know, I know people see, like, you know, they see with two eyes. They only see in the physical realm, but this is a spiritual battle. You know, I mean, it's so evident. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst, nakedness, and want of all things. We have to go to these people for everything. And I mean everything, all things, because we've been assimilated. We have been dumbed down through education. And, you know, we don't know anything. I mean, we do know certain things, don't get me wrong, but, you know, there's lots of things that we don't know. We're going to get better, though. Okay. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. So that yoke of iron in slavery, when we came over here, you know, around our neck, you know, like they put that knee around George Floyd's neck, they have destroyed thee. You see that? Through slavery, through The illiteracy laws in the South, you know, you couldn't read and write. I mean, come on. These people have destroyed us, man. So, you look at our people now, you know, getting tired of this, you know, getting tired of it. So, you know, it's like Planet of the Apes, man. You push people, you know, I ain't a killer, but don't push me, you know? So, you know, you keep pushing someone, you know, they're going to eventually bite back. All right? So now we're going to go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 58 through 59. 2nd Esdras chapter 6. All right. 58 and 59. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, Israel, Jacob, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. See, we was given into the hands of our enemies because they sold us and, you know, kidnapped us into slavery. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? So we're talking about today, like, man, we getting tired of this. You know, this is enough. How long are we going to endure this mistreatment, this injustice from our enemies who kill us, you know, who hate us? And it shows, you know, because the world, it says, why do we not possess a heritage with the world? Because they erased our history. You see that? A lot of Negroes, blacks, so-called Africans, they don't know their history. You know, we're into everything. You know, everything's been whitewashed by the elite.
See, what we call God depends upon our tribe.
Listen, homeboy. God's on your side, right?
You know I am the chosen one. Because God is tribal. God takes sides.